All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Get to the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
podcast.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
How you doing? Yeah, I was wondering for a little bit if you weren't doing nothing, if you like to listen to Get to the Podcast. Now, it's not that T.O. It's Get to the Podcast with the number 2.
Are you done?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you tell me.
I literally cringe whenever you do your intros. I cringe. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm looking at you doing it and I'm staring. I'm locked into your eyes while you do it, and you're staring back at me. You don't flinch.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Hey, I'll give you credit. I'm
commit
just
to the character.
To
make it.
This should go the entire podcast. Actually.
Wait, somebody do Arnold. I can never do Arnold. I always fuck it up.
Yeah.
And Lucas with the gun is.
That's good.
That's pretty good. That's fucking
It's
good.
just the non sequitur.
I know. It's a little. What does he say? I'm actually doing more of like a Will Sasso, the comedian who impersonates Arnold.
Yeah,
Did you ever see that YouTube video where he's narrating the Force Awakens trailer? And
He got the lightsaber. Yeah,
they got the lightsaber. He's like, "Hey, why did she not help me? This bitch." I can't do Arnold. I cannot do Arnold though. I can maybe impersonate an impersonation of Arnold.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know. Welcome to Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. My name is Tiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
And today, we're doing a little verses.
Yeah, we haven't done a versus in a while.
I know, right?
Yeah, what was the last verses we did?
Me versus the chicken wings. Boom.
No shit. Or you versus obesity. All right, let me see.
Fuck you, bitch.
Now, the last one we did was...
Who wants to get serious?
Does that mean? Was that too personal?
Well, yeah, mama.
Below the belt? Yikes, I'm sorry about that. I mean, we did a What's Better, Indiana Jones or Han Solo, Who's Better, but that wasn't really a versus episode, traditional versus episode. The last one we did was John Carpenter versus Wes Craven.
Wow.
In October.
God, that was a long time ago.
That was prior to Halloween. It was a week before
No,
Halloween.
I thought we did a Home Alone versus Home Alone 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm a liar.
I was like, yeah, we must have done
No,
something
you're right.
like
We did
Christmas.
Home Alone versus Home Alone 2. That's right. And you were Home Alone 2, and then you realized, you're right, Home Alone 1 is a better movie.
Did
you
I
ended
say
up
that?
watching
I don't remember this.
No, you may not have said it in the episode, but you watched the movies again like a week
Neil?
later, and you're
Do
like,
you
shit,
recall?
I'm glad I didn't watch those before the fucking show. Because you
My
agreed.
childhood memories of Home Alone 2 made it seem.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like both up there.
They are.
very
and,
close.
and I agreed they were
They're very
they were
close.
minimally comparable.
Which is hard to pull off.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
true.
Very
it's true.
hard.
Unlike
Well, let's
Rocky
move forward
1,
from
Rocky
those.
2. Rocky 1 is
Let-
clearly
let's-
All
superior.
right.
Let's see.
All right.
So-
Well, I mean, it is, but
There we go.
but I think they're close.
So who
They're
stands?
not even vaguely close.
Who
Anyway,
stands
sorry.
where?
Okay, so Neil, Arnold.
All right.
Okay, we're doing Arnold versus Sly. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus
The
Sylvester
Italian
Stallone.
Stallion.
The Italian Stallion
Stallion,
versus
yeah.
the Austrian. Brostrian. I don't know. What do they call
Austrian-
him?
Muscles
What's his
from
nickname?
Brussels.
No, that's Muscles from
Austrian
Brussels.
machine. Austrian
Van Damme.
machine for Terminator.
Yeah, but does he have a nickname? Let's just call him the Terminator.
The T-1000? I don't know.
No, he's a T-800.
T800.
What's his name in Predator?
How
How do I not know this instantly?
Dylan is what's his face. His name is I feel like it's John something. He always has these very Americanized names. I'm like, no, bullshit.
Yeah, it's like John Doe. Or
Yeah,
something.
John Doe, Bill Withers.
We'll just call him the
Wait,
machine.
That's the guy who does. What is his? I don't know. Okay, fine. That's fine. This is
We'll just
dumb.
nickname him
Let's
the
just
machine
do,
right now.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone.
Doesn't Adrian Brody's character in Predators play Arnold's son?
Does he?
No, I just made that
No,
up.
that's ridiculous. Okay,
All right. So Neil stands with.
you're picking
I have. I mean, I picked
Dutch. His name's Dutch.
Dutch.
Predator.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's a unique name.
Yeah.
I picked Arnold.
Okay, so you're going with Arnold.
How could you not pick Arnold?
Yeah. All right,
Easy.
and Diego, you're going with?
Hey, I picked the Rocky.
Okay, you got Sly. And me? I usually have a side. Today, I'm kind of down the middle, and I'm going to need you guys to kind of convince me. I'm going to argue, but I'm going to basically jump between sides. Like, I'm going to be on this side, I'm going to be on that side, but I'm not sure exactly, because I love them both.
I mean, we should say that they're both great. I'm
They
not
are,
saying
yeah.
Arnold is like, infinitely better than Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone has made some amazing films.
Yeah.
They both made some amazing films, and the great thing about both of them is that they played in different genres. So
Yeah.
they were known to be action stars, but they also did comedy. Like Arnold did Jingle All the Way, which I thought was funny. He did what was the name of the movie where he was pregnant?
Junior.
And
did Twins.
Twins.
I think Arnold actually successfully transitioned into comedy more better than
You
Sly.
didn't like Throw Mama from the Train?
No, not Throw Mama from the Train. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Stop him.
Stop Mama
Throw,
Shoot.
Throw Mama from the Train is Billy
Oh.
Crystal and Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
Yeah.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I saw that in theaters. I really did. And it was fine. I liked Oscar actually. I saw that in theaters as
I
well.
liked Oscar
I liked
too,
Oscar, but I just feel like Twins, Junior, Twins really, and Kindergarten Cop. It's actually there's a lot of action in that movie, but there's a lot of comedy in Kindergarten Cop, and I feel like
But that's a dark
transitioned-
movie too. That's a real.
That
dark
is a dark
movie.
fucking
I
movie.
rewatched that and I was like, God damn! Like this.
No, that movie is dark.
It's like crackheads in the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
and Arnold's like beating up on like women and stuff.
I know, but
and
then you
you're
get
like,
lost
what
in
the-
it's not a tumor. Girls have vaginas and boys have penises. Like all those scenes.
Yeah,
you're
all
like,
that comes.
You're
like-
thinking, oh,
that's
this
a rated R movie. That's a hard R.
Ivan Reitman.
It's a funny
Ivan
movie,
Reitman directed
yeah.
that, who did Ghostbusters and Stripes. So you're like, oh yeah, this movie's gonna be a but like there's some dark shit in ODing women. Like
I will
It's
give you
crazy.
that. I think
the bad guy literally lights the school on fire while children are in it.
Jeez.
He starts a fire in the school so
I
he
don't
can
remember
kidnap
that.
his son. Yeah. He takes like toilet paper and stuffs it in the library and then just lights it on fire.
that's
And
right.
I'm like, wow.
yeah.
This guy's a piece of shit.
I will give you that. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger plays he does better when it comes to comedy than
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Somehow.
But I think Sylvester
yeah.
Stallone, when it comes to serious roles, he does a lot better than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is it the accent?
No, it's just how he
They
plays.
both talk weird. Let's be honest.
They both have.
Sylvester Stallone has like a.
I think he's born or like scar tissue in his cheeks or something
Yeah,
like that.
so
Like he
it's
was
a
either
little
born
bit
with something or he
of
had
a-
surgery when he was a kid or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually it's a speech impediment. So now I
Yeah,
feel like an
yeah.
asshole. Yeah, thanks a lot. It made me feel like
Well,
an
no,
asshole.
I mean, I feel like people kind of like pretended it wasn't there for years, and then he like said in an interview, like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, this
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
thing. I
And
don't talk like this on camera. I
honestly,
didn't
both
create this. This
both
is
the way
me.
that each of them talk actually have added to their careers. Like they are.
It's true. It makes them
indistinct.
unique.
Became
Like,
iconic.
you know exactly. Like it's part of their signature. You're like, oh, that's Sly, and you could
You could say Adrian to anyone. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. If you
that's
can,
Sylvester Stallone.
if somebody could do an impression of you, then that means you're
Recognized.
unique. You're unique. Like
Yeah.
Christopher Walken. He like nobody else talks like Christopher Walken, so you could do that impression.
Nobody.
I watched
Talks
this
like
interview.
me.
He doesn't even think he talks weird. He's just like, this is
This is just
can't
how
do it,
I
but
talk.
This is how I
Walken?
talk. Yeah, he's just like, I don't know why. He's like, people do all these impressions, but to me, it doesn't sound weird.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's
I
just
don't-
because he's been in
he
so
doesn't
many
I think he
movies.
grew
try,
up with his
though.
that.
No, it's just how he
Yeah,
talks.
he's like, this is how I grew up talking, and
Yeah.
people would always like emphasize the wrong syllables.
Right. Okay, but so Arnold and Sylvester Stallone. Okay, let's go over some of their movies and their filmography, and because here's what I would say. I will
So-
say this off the bat. I think Arnold's got a larger catalog. Like he's got a better catalog of
films.
movies. Yeah, he's got more movies
That are better.
Yeah,
That are better.
Why am I? Yeah, why
Just
am I?
say
trying to
it
figure-
better.
He's got better movies.
That's true.
He has more movies that are better. Let's put it that. He's got more good movies. Why can't I get out the right wording for this?
Yeah, I
he's
don't
got a
know.
larger number of great movies than
All right,
Sylvester
so
Stallone does.
I should say, like, so recently I rewatched all of the Rocky films.
Well, okay, wait. Let's go back to what he just said.
Okay.
So
But
name
keep
them
that
off,
thought,
like
Neil.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's greater
Oh.
film history.
oh my god,
Well,
dude.
well,
Name
Are you
name
serious?
them.
I could go for like.
I'll name 5. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let me do 6. Rocky Balboa. I can go into 7. Creed.
Creed, yeah.
I can go into 8.
I mean,
I know,
Creed
I
is
know.
a weird
Okay,
one.
production.
but
like
take-
Creed
take-
is connected, but I feel like.
But here's
it's
the
creating
thing.
its own thing. They could do Creed.
Let's
too.
do this.
No, but
Let's do this.
Creed-
Take Rocky out of the equation and take the Terminator movies out of the equation. Let's
Okay.
compare all their other films.
Great. Total Recall. True Lies.
Rambo.
I know. but keep
1,
going.
2,
First Blood.
3.
we just-
First Blood. First
Last
Blood 2.
Action Hero.
Okay, this is a little bit all
by
over
the
place.
way,
let me do
I love the
let me
fact
name you some
that
things real quick.
I love did Sylvester Stallone ever work for Arnold? But I know
forget
Arnold
Hercules in
worked
New
for
York.
Sylvester Stallone.
Expendables.
Yeah, and the Expendables.
Okay.
2, 3, and I think
All right,
4.
so this is what we have for. This is what I have for Sylvester Stallone. Okay, let me just name off some movies real quick. All right, because I listed out what I thought were movies that I really enjoyed for Rocky and Arnold ended up having, or for Rocky, for Sly, and then for Arnold I ended up with like double the list. Okay, so for Sly we had obviously Rocky movies, but First Blood, Cobra, Over the Top, Tango and Cash, Lock Up, which was a movie where he goes to prison. It's a great movie.
That was Arnold and
No, that's a recent movie. That's Escape Plan or whatever.
Escape Plan,
No. Lock Up's from the '80s, which is Sylvester Stallone, and he's like in a minimum security prison, and then the warden has him transferred to a maximum security in his last 6 months, and it's crazy. It's like all in the prison system. It's a really good movie. Lock Up. Oscar, which I did like, with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
One of my second favorite
Rennie
movies.
Harlan directed that.
Yeah, Demolition Man. I love Demolition Man. There's a lot of comedy in that movie, but I love that movie.
That's true. It was a great movie. Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Specialist is
Sandra
pretty good, where he plays the bomb special. It's okay.
It's all right.
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Assassins, which I know
I love that
Diego
film.
loves. Copland was
Antonio Banderas, yeah.
yeah. Copland was okay. I didn't love that
Here's
movie.
the thing
but
about
it was
Copland,
okay.
though. Here's the thing about Copland. He had a serious role in that, and he did very fucking well. It wasn't. The movie
very
wasn't
different.
great, but his role and how he played it was really
And that is
good.
true. That's why I want to give him credit for that movie. So there's that. Daylight was okay. He started
I like
basically.
Daylight a
Yeah,
lot,
I think he started
actually.
falling off in like late '90s, and so did Arnold. Honestly,
Did you
But I really enjoyed Daylight.
Yeah, I think Daylight was good.
Yeah.
Capone?
Okay, but let's jump ahead. That he didn't really. He basically did a bunch of whatever kind of movies, honestly, and then he came back with Expendables, and he started doing the Expendables movies, and then he was tapped for Creed, and then he even showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's kind of Sly's general trajectory of his
You didn't name
movies.
Capone.
I didn't. I don't remember that movie.
You don't remember that movie?
No, I don't.
That was a great fucking film.
When's it from?
And I think
The 70s?
it's like
one of his early
80,
films.
82. Let me see. Let me look up.
I don't remember that one.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. 75.
Yeah, that was before
wow.
even Rocky. Yeah, so
Yeah, that was
he
before. Right. So that
he was young in that. Maybe there's Lords of Flatbush. He was okay in that, but those were very small roles. That was before he hit big with Rocky.
Yeah, but they're still great because
Right.
of him, and he got
True.
recognized.
But then let's look at Arnold. Okay, all right. If we ignore his, I think it's his first movie, Hercules in New York. Have you guys ever seen this fucking trash movie from 1970? It is so
Dino De
bad. It's fun to
Laurentiis.
watch.
Don't dump on
Hercules in New York. No. It's not fully Arnold. You know why? They dubbed in an American voice actor. Like, they dubbed his voice.
Well, he couldn't speak English, I thought.
That was
at
his
the
first-
No,
time.
he just had a really thick accent. He had a thick fucking
It
accent.
must have been like
Jesus Christ.
super broken.
No, you got to
English.
realize this is
Like, Dolph
1970.
Lundgren couldn't speak.
Doesn't matter. This is 1970. They weren't going to try to,
Oh yeah.
shovel this character to American audiences when everybody was used to no accents, like used to just seeing a quote unquote American, and they're going to be like, oh, here's this Austrian, and let's like make him like he's Hercules. I don't think they felt like they could market that.
Yeah.
So there's like
I mean,
scenes in there.
Hercules isn't American, so
I know, but he's
hypocrisy.
I know it is ridiculous, but he's probably not Austrian either.
Maybe he was. We don't know.
Maybe. But anyways, there's fucking scenes in there. It is funny to watch. Go on YouTube and check out the trailer or watch clips from this movie, Hercules in New York. But father, like this is literally what he sounds like. But father, I have to go. I have to become my own man. Like that is what he sounds like. Yeah, he mouthed it. So he actually really did do it, but like they dubbed it over with a really an accent that's like a voice that does not fit his body. At all. But past that, he started hitting big. I mean, he did the Pumping Iron documentary in the late 70s.
Yeah.
But then he got into, real Hollywood
one
movies.
thing they have in common is we know that both of them have done roids. So
there you
that's
go.
the one thing.
I mean, they have to have that, right? No, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. Okay, so I named a bunch of Sly films. Let me just name a bunch of Arnold films real quick. Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, The Terminator, Commando, Predator, The Running Man, Red Heat with Jim Belushi, Twins with Danny DeVito, Kindergarten Cop, which we already talked about. Total Recall.
Yep.
Fucking Total Recall. Come on.
Yeah.
Terminator 2. Last Action Hero, which is just a fun movie. It's just
amazing.
fun.
It's amazing if you haven't seen it. Go see
Yeah,
it.
it's just a lot of fun. Like
It's directed by John McTiernan, who also did Die Hard, Die Hard 3, Predator.
Yeah, exactly. And written, or at least partially written by Shane Black, who did Lethal Weapon and Monster Squad. We've talked about him a lot. Okay, then you had Junior, which was not great, but like it was a good movie. True Lies. Come on, True Lies. I mean, any movie he's ever done with James Cameron are like classics.
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way, which is a movie that's actually not great, but
it's fun.
But you can't not watch it.
Yeah,
either.
it's a fun
If
movie
you come
to
across
watch.
it on TV, you're like, man, this movie sucks, and then you sit and watch the whole fucking thing. Like, there's something about Jingle All the Way. It's a fun Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Eraser. I really like that movie with James Caan, and he plays that guy who works for witness protection, and he's supposed to go in and erase your identity in your life and then put you in witness protection.
Yeah, and Vanessa Williams is when she was like doing all those movies.
Yep, exactly. Okay, Batman and Robin. That movie is not good. Okay, the fourth Batman movie, but he's actually good in it. Not those scenes where he's doing those little one-liner, okay, everybody, chill. You know, all those scenes are ridiculous. But there are some scenes in that movie where he actually brings out his acting chops. And you don't know Arnold, but in a movie that's terrible, Arnold's acting actually stands out, which is like, weird.
I rewatched that movie and that one in Batman Forever, and it was like it's a weird thing. Like I remember hating them, and in retrospect, I watch them now, and maybe I just have more admiration for like all the work that goes into these movies because I'm like, man, like I put in a lot of work to try and make this like a fun.
I enjoyed the films.
Yeah, it was. It was. If you look at it from like a cartoon to live action type Batman, then you're like okay with it. You're like, yeah, this is like cartoon Batman.
Right.
That's
Batman
like
and Robin
real.
is a movie that it is really bad though. That one specifically is really bad. The rest I enjoy.
I like it with Herman.
She's really bad in it though. She overacts the shit out of that role.
What about Alicia Silverstone?
Oh my god, like it's totally ridiculous. Like how is she all of a sudden back? Like they've already done this storyline with Robin in Batman Forever. Now they're doing it again.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. Like how is she this skilled
But it's George
out of
Clooney.
nowhere? And he isn't that bad actually. He really isn't the worst part. That's why his career was not destroyed doing this movie. But what I'm saying is Arnold actually has some monologue scenes in there and scenes where he's like, you know, getting emotional over his wife and just in general, I think he does a good job in that movie.
Yeah.
Not when he's being over the top in the action scenes, but like the other parts. End of Days.
I will
dark-ass
say
movie.
the first time I saw End of Days, it actually occurred to me that Arnold could or had the potential to be a real to like display like real emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a weird thing to think because I love Arnold in all these films.
I'm going to cry now.
Yeah, but like
You
have
can't
you
do
seen
the
End of
accent
Days?
either. Huh?
I can't fucking do it.
Have you
go
seen,
to the
did you see End of Days?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
like
one.
his portrayal in that
It's a
film
very
is like,
end of the days devil. Like Gabriel Byrne plays the
But he's
devil.
like his wife died, and he's like this, you know, like beat cop or something, or detective or something like that, like homicide detective, and then he stumbles on this whole devil trying to you know take over the world or whatever, wipe out God thing. But like
it's kind of like
Arnold's-
a Constantine wannabe.
yeah, but it was
It's
like
prior to
darker. I
Constantine.
felt like it was darker.
It's
than
better, you said?
Constantine.
It's prior to Constantine by several years.
Yeah, but it was like
It's
like,
a pre Constantine wannabe.
Well, Constantine was a comic book or graphic novel anyway. Comic book, I think.
it's-
Where are we
it's-
going with this?
I don't know. Get off
When
the
you
subject.
watch the movie, it's like not what you would expect Arnold to take on as a
Yeah.
role. Like he tends to get these more like you know, one-sided characters. Yeah, these like flat characters that are easy to portray, and this is like a complex character. I felt
He's
Yeah.
not
watching
good
the
at being
movie.
complex though.
That's
No.
what I'm saying. I thought he was good in
No,
this.
he is.
though.
He
And that's
is.
that's
in
my
this
thing.
movie.
Right.
That's my. I don't think he is very good at
No,
it.
I think
I think he
has
does
the potential.
Look, there's a. Let me
He's
say.
done it a few times, like where you go, oh, the guy can act.
Let me say it this
He
way. No,
actually
he can
can.
act. I'm not saying he can't act, but I'm saying he's not. Let me say it this way. He's not as good as Sylvester Stallone as being a complex character.
Sylvester Stallone has been nominated for Academy Awards as
He's-
an actor at least
Sylvester
twice, and Arnold
Stallone-
never has. So I do agree that
As an actor, twice.
yeah,
Twice.
Rocky, and Creed.
Creed.
Oh,
Yeah.
He knows how
The
to.
two
Same character,
it's
but
literally the
40
same
years apart. But
character.
40 years apart.
Yeah, well, if I had 40 years to master a character, I would get
Whatever.
nominated for an Oscar too.
Okay, but
Oh, we're talking about all the films that
let me
Arnold
finish-
has done
let me
right
finish
now.
up with,
so.
let me finish
Go ahead.
with Arnold real quick. So we had End of Days. Anyways, there was a few, and then he kind of like fell off. Then he became the governor. Then he did Terminator 3. Or Terminator 3 was right before that. Collateral Damage. Terminator 3. Both kind of whatever
Yeah, I
movies.
think when he was the governor, that's when
He left for-
he came back and it wasn't the same.
Exactly. He said having trouble. I mean, he came out with Escape Plan. He was in the Expendables movies. Maggie, which I didn't see. I want to
saw
see.
it.
Apparently, he was
saw it.
good in it, though.
He was really look. That is where I'll say. That
Guy
is
can
where I
act,
say
right?
he did really good. The movie, you should watch it because the movie is good.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
It's about like his daughter's turning.
His
into a
daughter's
zombie or
turning.
something.
He's trying to not. What they do, it's like a zombie movie. You see a zombie, you want to kill it.
Yeah.
So the people around him want to kill his daughter, and he's trying to protect her. That's basically the premise of the film. And I thought the movie was actually good, and he did really good in it. I thought that was good for him to show how deep he can get.
Right.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that he's as deep. He can be as deep as Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, then 2 more real quick. So Killing Gunther, which I was really hoping was going to be great, and it wasn't a great movie. No. And he's not great in it. It's like he's trying to be an
it was overdone
kind of comic character. He's not in a lot of the movie, surprisingly. It's named he
even
plays
if you watch
Gunther.
the trailer, you would think he's like
like that's they're trying to sell it on him, and
yeah.
anyway. So it's like, and he did that movie recently, Sabotage or whatever. So he's been trying to reignite his career, and he's been having trouble with it. Terminator Genesis, I liked it. A lot of people didn't. But
the Last Stand wasn't that bad.
The Last Stand wasn't terrible. It was fine.
I mean, he's not releasing like I don't want to throw my boy on Steven Seagal, but I want to throw him under the bus. But like he's he's not pumping out like Steven Seagal quality films. Like he's still making good films, working with good people.
Yeah, he just hasn't hit that right. Like he hasn't reignited his career. Now
he's
they're
like
working
70
on,
years old. Is he going to?
He will. And here's what they're doing a Terminator sequel now that James Cameron's producing and came up with a story of, and is complete and is very involved.
It's a reboot.
in. Yep, Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool, is directing it. They've got Linda Hamilton coming back. She hasn't been in it since T2. It's a sequel to Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Yep. And they're going to ignore the rest of the movies. They're going to be like, it's a direct sequel to that movie. It's got Arnold, Linda Hamilton. They got Mackenzie Davis, who was in Blade Runner 2049. She was in that San Junipero Black Mirror episode. Yeah. So they got her coming in. Anyways, that is exciting to me. Like they're like, because James Cameron hasn't been involved in the Terminator movie since T2, and he's fully involved.
Within
in
the
this
last
movie.
2 years, he got the rights back for it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. 2019. He basically has the rights
Doesn't he
back
have
now.
like 4 Avatar films that he's working on?
Yeah, that's why he's not directing it, but he's very involved.
Isn't
in
he
it.
trying to scan the ocean
signed
also?
He came up with the story, like it's fully his story. He's approving the script. He's approving all casting. He's very like locked in with the director. They're
tough,
one-on-one.
Man. He's putting a lot of himself in this while he's not directing. So.
I know, it's true.
Yeah.
But
scary.
He's going to be very involved, and I think he's going to be giving his word, like his okay and sign off on a lot of things in the process. So
I was like when they brought Christopher Nolan in on Man of Steel, and I was like, "Oh, Man of Steel is going to be amazing."
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan worked on it, and then
but that's different.
Christopher Nolan,
I'm not going to fall into that. I'm not going to fall into that. I love Man of
But
Steel.
James Cameron's a different guy.
I love Man of
I don't
Steel.
know. We'll have to see what happens.
Okay, so fuck you, Neil. Fuck you.
No,
Okay.
I agree with
it's
Neil.
not a bad movie. It's not.
I don't care. I don't care who agrees with you. I like Man of Steel. I love.
Yeah,
and I
but
think it's
I
just
agree.
because that ending part.
Anyways, but
That's
James.
true.
So this movie's they're starting to film the new Terminator movie in July.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be released next July. So it's gonna
Arnold
this summer. So
Schwarzenegger.
it's gonna be July 2019. They're coming out with the new Terminator. It's gonna be a sequel, and I'm like, where's the fuck? They better get Edward Furlong back in. Oh man, Robert Patrick.
Where's he at?
Edward Furlong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I used to think it'd
Hopefully
be
he's
so
doing
cool as a
well.
kid to be an actor in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and now I look at all these child actors. It's like ruin their lives.
But
and
look
I'm
at how
like,
many didn't have their lives ruined. It's
I don't
really
know.
just like people
I
that
think
just
there's
like
less
emphasize.
that made it out of the Hollywood
Well,
nightmare.
you can't really decide on your career for your life as a kid. You know, that's hard.
So
Like,
here's
what kids like?
Well, you got like 100 adults saying this is what you should do.
Yeah, and when you grow up, you're like, I don't want to do that. You know. Anyways,
don't
okay,
know.
all right. So I just
I
wanted to cover all those films rapidly, and the.
We spent about a half hour on Arnold
So-
in 5 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. Arnold
But
has a lot
let me
more
take it
movies
back
that
to-
I think are
yeah.
memorable. Go ahead.
Let me take it back to Sylvester Stallone. Okay,
All
so Arnold does have some great films, but I'm gonna break into IMDb, which is not
IMDb.
IMDb, which is not technically breaking into because it's a free source. So
Crack the code.
I'm looking at what Sylvester Stallone has done.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with Miscellaneous Crew. He choreographed films. He choreographed
directed.
Rocky.
He directed
1,
them.
2.
Oh, you mean the fight choreography?
yeah,
Yeah, he choreographed all those fight scenes in all those.
He's
movies.
written so many films.
Mm-hmm.
Let me scroll. Damn,
He
this
wrote-
is a long list.
He
Suck.
wrote most of the
Rocky.
movie, a lot of the movies he was in. He wrote all the Rocky movies.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he directed 2, 3, 4.
And Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa. He didn't do
so,
5.
No, that was John Avildsen who did the first Rocky.
Right.
He brought
He,
him back. And
he
then
was
Creed
involved in the
Ryan Coogler.
soundtrack for Rocky 3 and a couple of other films. I know he was involved in the soundtrack for
His
Rocky 3.
brother, I think, was
Frank
Frank
Stallone. He was in the early movies. Like he was a singer on the street. Like in the second movie, he was a singer on the street by the fire, by that little trash can fire.
That was like his Polly.
The doo-wop group.
Yeah.
That was his Polly.
This is Paul.
And he also did a song on The Muppet Show.
Okay, you're just
Rocky
okay.
did?
No,
You're not selling
this
anybody
is
on
what this is
nothing.
what I'm saying.
Did he donate
this is
money
what I'm
to
saying.
the Haiti?
This is
thing
what I'm
too?
saying.
Like,
He's directed. He's been a choreographer. I'm sorry.
Or
He's
choreographer.
been- no, I don't like that. Didn't work for me. I like making up words, but that didn't work out for me. He's done so much more than Arnold has done. He's
Arnold is an actor and a producer.
Arnold
in
has
a way
an
a
act-
producer. He's more
a
of an
producer
actor.
can be just I dropped some cash just to drop my name on the
He's
film.
more of
So-
he's more of like, oh, let's get this project going, and he'll like rope in other people.
I mean, there's
So,
a lot.
It's
well,
not-
let me finish my statement. So Arnold is more of an actor, just
Yes.
a
True.
plain actor.
True.
Is he bad? No, I'm not going to even say plain because he's a great actor. I think he's an incredible actor. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was also a governor
what-
of a state.
Yeah,
for
let's keep politics out of it because that doesn't even make sense to bring
I
that
know,
into
but
it.
Sylvester Stallone wasn't a governor.
Are you saying that Arnold Schwarzenegger was entertaining while being a governor?
No, but like
I'm just saying,
we're talking
because then
about
we can
one's
count it.
He played
ability.
the role
We're
of
talking
governor.
about an ability here, right? His
Ability
ability.
what?
Okay.
I don't know. You're just throwing out these other
if you
Muppets.
look back,
That's
if
all.
you look back
That's
at when
how
he
he's
was
governor.
if you look back when he was governor, I mean, like fucking, like the state lost so much money. So if
What
you
the
want
hell?
to,
What?
if you want to go,
What
go
does
that
have to do
route,
with anything? Get
you
back
brought up
to
fucking
I didn't bring
politics.
up shit.
He brought up politics.
He did.
If
Okay.
you want to
Brought
bring
up
that
the
up,
Muppets.
I'm just saying.
Erroneous. Erroneous on both counts.
Yeah,
Okay.
how can you go wrong with the Muppets?
All
You can
right.
obviously
All right.
go wrong as a governor.
All right, here,
but
let's-
check this out. Anyways, back with up. So,
I wonder who's going to play him when they
My-
finally
my-
make a movie about Arnold the governor.
My statement
That's
is
what I wonder.
that Sylvester Stallone doesn't have as long as a movie list as Arnold. Because he's been involved in so many different things. Not only being an actor, being a director, being a writer.
I don't think that's why he hasn't made as many films.
I think so.
I'm not sure that
It
he
takes-
hasn't made as many films. I was just thinking. I was
No,
just saying
he
Arnold.
hasn't. Arnold has
What-
a longer list.
But is it a lot longer?
I don't know how long. I didn't measure, but
Okay.
I know he has a longer list.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
think
but
that
I thi-
Arnold has more memorable, like a larger number of memorable films. Like he has a larger number of higher quality films.
Yeah.
That's
but
what I
that
think.
doesn't have to just be because of Arnold. I mean, that could be like Terminator. That's because James
don't know,
Cameron made
like,
a great film.
It's true, but Arnold still was in it.
tied.
Arnold was tied to it. Yeah, no, I agree with it.
No, Arnold
But-
was tied to Total Recall for like 10 years
Yeah.
before the movie got
Several
made.
years, yeah.
Like they tried to make that movie with Patrick Swayze or something, and
Mm-hmm.
like Dino De Laurentiis was going to fund it. And they actually started filming
like 3
and
or
then
4 years
scrapped the
before, yeah.
movie or something
Yeah.
like that. And then, but Arnold was like he wanted to make sure he had the right director, the right writer,
Yeah.
the right, like everything, like all the producers. So I think that he had a lot,
that
more
happens with-
influence on the making
that
of the
happens
movies
with-
that he's in that were like really good, memorable.
No,
films.
I totally
No, that
agree.
happens
Arnold,
because of
and that's that
who he
producer.
is. Yeah,
element.
Yeah, but I
He's
mean,
a specific
He's
character.
not like an actor who just falls in, like shows up when they say show up. He's like working behind the scenes. I
No,
think.
he's
now-
a unique character
Yeah.
that you
He
don't
wants to
have
make
a
sure
lot in
his films are
Hollywood,
good,
and
yeah.
that is why people said, "Hey, I want Arnold because he's very specific. He's unique. There's
Okay.
not a lot of that in
Let
Hollywood."
me just say something
and
real
I
quick.
agree with that.
So Sylvester Stallone, writer director, he wrote all the Rocky movies. He's actually been nominated for writer director, or not for director, writing credit,
Writing,
I think,
yeah.
and I think he received an Oscar for Rocky as a producer, as part of Best Picture or whatever. So he's definitely has higher quality storytelling in terms of from his head. Like he wrote Cobra, he wrote Over the Top, he wrote Cliffhanger. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so like he absolutely has this other wider. Like I don't think Arnold could sit down and write a script. I don't think he ever has.
day
I'm
I
not sure
killed
Arnold has that.
people.
No.
Even interest. He
Well, I
probably
don't
just
know,
doesn't even
maybe.
want to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's not really his thing. But Arnold, there's one story about Arnold. I think it was Predator. Before he did Predator, he was talking to the producers or whatever, and he's like, I really want to do this movie, but I think we need to. And he was giving them notes. He was in with the studio or whatever, and he gave them notes on the script. He's like, I think this should be a scene where we break the guy's arm and then I piss on him. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about, Arnold? So, So I don't know if necessarily like his strong suit is storytelling so much as it is
All right.
crafting.
We can't take like one instance where he wanted to pee on somebody.
Just saying.
And be like, you guys are bad. Like, all his input is worthless.
Just
Because
take
Arnold
individual
wanted to piss on
anecdotes.
somebody,
Yeah.
he will not win.
You gotta take individual anecdotes.
Everyone throws out a pee.
I
thing
guarantee
every
that
once in a
Sylvester
while.
Stallone never had a peeing incident come up.
Everyone throws
in
that out
in
there.
a
Like,
brain.
you know, I should really pee on that person today. Like, everybody says that once in their life.
That's true. I
Come
did
on.
hear a story about Rocky IV where he's like, after I beat the shit out of him, I'm
wanna
gonna
be on
piss
it.
in his face.
Yeah,
In
and
front
they
of-
were like the slide.
I wanna
like, that's
pee
not
on
gonna
them and
work.
say,
That's
"Hey,
like,
how
it's
you
the PG
doing?"
movie.
If I do that in front of the Russian government, maybe it'll help end this Cold War.
And say, hey, how you doing?
Although I do remember the Russians were like loving him at the end of that movie. Like
They
when he fights
were.
in Russia, I was like, oh, this whole movie
That whole
took a
speech
twist.
at the end too.
That was a very pro-American film.
It was, but it
You
was
know
also
my
pro.
favorite-
Like he was trying to be like, hey, let's come together and let's like be friends.
You know my favorite Rocky speech was from Rocky 3, and it wasn't filled with words. It was just when Mick died.
Oh, Mickey.
It was like, Mick.
All I know is I was like, did he just tell Mick that he won the fight when he got his ass kicked? He's like, while this dude's dying, he's like, I knew you'd win, boy. And I'm like, dude, tell him the truth. He's about to die.
No, don't tell him the truth. He's about to die.
That's
That,
so fucked up, man. I was like, man,
that was
Rocky's
a
piece
sad
of
scene
shit.
though, and
That
like
was
Mickey
sad.
was awesome. Honestly,
was
he was
awesome.
like he's easily the best part
I
of all
love
those
that they brought him
films.
back 4 or 5.
Five for
though.
that flash-
That
or
scene
that-
was really cool.
That dream
flashback
sequence,
scene.
the flashback or whatever. Yeah.
I don't think, in no
Real
way,
quick.
it's a hard debate.
lightning and you're gonna crap thunder. Go ahead.
In no form, it's very difficult for me to just say Sylvester Stallone, and I think I say that. No, I don't think I know. I say that because I personally think Sylvester Stallone has been like an inspiration in my life. He's been the top actor for me that I followed in making films and writing and all that he's done. I love him to
he's
death.
a rarity, yeah.
So I don't. So putting him against Arnold, Arnold's not going to win. But there is no way in hell that I'm saying my personal preference. To me, in no way in hell I'm saying that Arnold is not a great actor. I have never seen Arnold have a serious role.
Maggie.
When I saw, I'm getting to.
Okay.
I love the jump-ins.
Yeah, you do.
I have never seen him do a great serious role until I saw Maggie, which wasn't even a popular film at all. I know why it wasn't popular because there's one thing that happened in that film that made me totally dislike the film, and I was so mad at it. But I thought it was a good film. If you don't understand that, you need to watch the film.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'll say is I feel like Arnold was like what's the word? Like I want to say cornhole, but that's
Cornhole.
Wow, what?
Like
Are you
he was-
supporting Arnold?
No. I'm saying like he was in the beginning of his career. People saw this guy who was a bodybuilder, and they were
yeah.
like he couldn't speak English very well, and they were like, let's put him into a genre. And all the film offers he got were like
Action.
commando action type, running
Yeah.
around,
Conan
blowing
and
shit
Terminator.
up.
Conan and Terminator.
Yeah, beating dudes up.
were his
Like
first ones.
he
Yeah.
had to fight to get to the point where that Sylvester Stallone started at, which
Yeah.
was like a serious role.
What?
Look
Wait,
how
you
long
saying
it took
fight?
him.
Are you saying fight?
I
Are
think
you saying
he did.
Sylvester
I
Stallone
think
didn't fight?
I think the
No, Sly started as a dramatic,
Sly-
dramatic actor, and Arnold started as an action star.
That's what I'm
They
saying,
actually,
like-
they both flipped over to the other.
Yeah.
Had to
That's
cross
my
those
point.
bridges
My
from
point
different
is that we're comparing these two people as though they're the same because I mean I grew up with people always trying to compare Arnold and Sylvester Stallone.
Compare
who's the
you to
better or
Arnold.
whatever. Like I mean, you growing up, you hear this like people are like, oh, who's better or whatever, and
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like Arnold came in, doing these like corny action movies. There was like audio's dubbed. He didn't even speak in the films, and then Sylvester Stallone, fucking his first film that he like took. What was it like? He didn't take any pay on it or something like that.
Yeah,
Or-
it's Rocky.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
he'd done a few movies before that, like Lords of Flatbush and stuff like that. But he was
He
like,
wanted
just
to
a
like,
character
direct
actor.
it too. He wanted
Yeah.
to direct Rocky.
I think he may
And
want
they
to.
were like,
he wanted to
no.
star in it minimally. Yeah, he
Yeah,
really
he wanted to star in it.
in
He wanted them to use the script like without changing it.
Yeah.
and then he also wanted to. I read that he also wanted to direct it, and the studio, which gave him like $1 million, which
Yeah.
is not a lot of money.
No,
to
that
make this
movie's done for
movie.
very cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and
They
then-
were like, no, we're getting like a person who's actually made films
Yeah,
before to
exactly.
make this movie. You've never directed a
But
film.
somehow he stuck because he was fucking poor. He just sold, that dog, was it Buttkiss or whatever?
Yeah,
in the
he
movie?
sold his dog,
That was
yeah.
his real dog, like
Yeah.
in real life. And he was so poor, he had to sell his dog for rent money.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the first thing he did when he got paid for Rocky is he went and bought that dog back, but the guy wouldn't give it to him, so he had to pay like fucking $10,000 or $5,000.
That's crazy,
for
yeah.
his dog back, and that's the dog that's in the
Probably
movie,
in
Rocky.
Philadelphia, in that neighborhood.
Yeah, probably. They're like, fuck you. Anyways, but that. Yeah, and so he basically stuck to his guns, which is a testament to what Diego was saying. Like, the guy's an inspiration. Like, he basically could have been like, "I'll sell you the script," and he could have made some money.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
but
then
if you
walk
look at
away.
Arnold's history too, the guy didn't like grow up in some like royal family
Nope.
or something. This was like this poor
Neither
kid
of
from
them did.
Austria.
I've read
who made
Arnold's.
it
I've read
across the
Arnold's
sea.
biography.
Yeah.
It's called Total Recall. It's actually really interesting. He grew up in Austria in this little farm.
Don't they
village.
have
Yeah.
like a big statue of him in the town where
they
he?
might.
I'm
Probably.
pretty sure they
And
turned it
Sylvester
into a
Stallone-
museum.
And
There's
Sylvester
like
Stallone's got his
Arnold
Rocky
museum.
statue next to the art museum in Philly.
Yeah.
But Arnold, came from a little farm town. He grew up
Yeah.
in the 50s in this little thing that like there's no more than a few hundred people and
Well,
nobody.
Sylvester Stallone's
And that's
actually
that's the
older
thing
than
about
him.
Arnold too, is that he.
Sylvester's 71, Arnold's 70.
Oh, wow.
Oh, are we
About
fighting?
the same
on that?
age.
I don't know.
No, I was just.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah,
They're about the same age.
Yeah. And the cool thing about Arnold is the fact that he himself broke out of the stereotype of what he came into.
Yeah.
And so it's so super awesome that he did that. I think
Arnold
I
shouldn't
think
have
about
worked.
this.
He shouldn't have, because
he
I remember
shouldn't
as a
have.
kid, like
everything going
everybody
against
would
him.
always like mimic his like accent, and it was like big a joke, and it was like I'll be back, and it was
Yeah.
like I mean it was like people love Terminator, but they also were like kind of making fun of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just kept going. He was like a machine. He kept
Yeah.
making
And he
these
could have
movies. His
just been
English
the
got
Term-
better, and it was like nobody even really cares anymore.
And so here's the thing too about the difference between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone is that Arnold Schwarzenegger worked more top-end directors than Sylvester Stallone. But is it because
Sure.
Sylvester Stallone wanted to be a director, wanted to write, wanted to do. And I look at those things. And this is why Sylvester Stallone always inspired me, is because he didn't just want to be an actor. He wanted to create his own, basically his own thing, his own, like,
Which is-
which he did with Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, and
And First Blood. He wrote
And
the First
First
Blood
Blood.
script.
Yeah.
He wrote
Yeah.
Rambo. He created Rambo too. Like
Yeah.
so two
Is that
iconic
over?
characters.
This ain't over.
What happened
Yeah.
in 2 and 3 though?
I don't know. First one though. Was
What happened in Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5?
I can tell
No,
you. I can fucking.
I'm surprised you don't like those
can
movies.
fucking
I
tell
just
you.
watched them.
I think they're
can
great.
fucking-
I think Rocky 2. You were saying you think Rocky 2 is like beat for beat recreation of the first Rocky.
Not
so
beat
wrong.
for beat
It's not
recreation.
even close.
It's not beat for beat. It just felt everything about that film felt
forced. You were saying.
forced. Like it just he played like an even dumber version of Rocky in that film. I felt like
No,
like
he
was
did
like
not.
No, he was just in spheres. He was in circles that
Are you,
made him
you're,
seem dumber.
I think you're just
when
thinking
you're
the
on commercial
commercials
sets.
in that scene.
No, just think of
no,
this.
not the commercial scenes.
No, there's lots
like,
of scenes in the second movie where he's in circles that won't
Yeah.
accept him. In the first one, he's in the streets the whole time. He's not around anything
Yeah.
that's going to emphasize
I don't
his
know.
stupidity.
Yeah, I guess in the first movie, it's like there's like 4 people in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like Mickey, Adrian,
Yeah.
Paulie, and Rocky,
Yeah.
and then you just focus
And the meat
on
market.
those 4.
Dude, the second one where
Yeah,
where
the meat
Adrian
market.
gets really sick and he's basically won't go and he won't practice, he won't do anything because he's going to stay
Yeah.
by her side that whole time. And she finally wakes up and she's like, win. And that whole fucking scene-
It just felt so convoluted and like
Oh, it's so
that-
easy.
It
And
was
I
like,
like the
I was
fact that
watching
Apollo's-
it. I was like, this is not good.
And I like how
What are you
Apollo's
talking-
actually pissed
There were
in this
so many
movie.
battles that he had. He was fighting
didn't
his
have-
battle with Adrian. He was fighting his
Literacy. With literacy.
literacy. He was fighting his battle with being a boxer. I mean, he was fighting his battle with Mick.
Let's
He was
also-
And
fighting
Apollo
his
was coming
battle
in-
with Apollo Creed.
And Apollo
He-
was not pulling punches
this
in the
is
second one. He
crazy.
was pissed. He wanted to fucking beat
This
him.
is like, think about
I
it.
thought the fight choreography in the second one was way better than the first fight choreography of the first
Think
film,
about
which is
all
like
those-
you would
Yeah.
expect that. They
Yeah.
had $300 million to make a better movie.
Yeah.
But I thought the story was nowhere near as
Oh,
good.
get out of here!
I mean,
You
I
think the
no, I
second
think the
one
first
is better than the
no, I think
first?
the first one's better than the second, but I don't think the second
But
one's
you're
bad,
saying there
though.
was such a huge separation.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I wouldn't even compare the two.
Well,
Look,
first
my
one, I
films
think
the
go
first
like this.
one is like
My
up
films
here,
goes
and
like
the second
this.
one
I
is
think
like
the first one's the best one.
significantly
My
less.
film goes, yes, the first one. Then I go to the fourth one. Then I go to the third one. Then I go to the second one. Then I go to it's between
Creed. It would be
Yeah, I
Creed
go to
for me.
Creed.
Yeah.
Then I go to
Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa.
Then Rocky Five.
then
Really?
Rocky Five.
I,
Yes.
I,
Mine
I
would be a
watched
little bit
all of
different.
them.
I did third
through
over
Creed.
fourth.
I
Yeah.
went.
It's
my
very hard
thought
to do
was
third
like,
or fourth.
but I felt this way before I saw 2, 3, 4, and 5. My thought, I went from Rocky to Rocky Balboa and then to Creed, and then I'd probably say like 2, And then
Creed could easily slip in there in the top 3, but I'm not sure. Rocky, the first one, is absolutely my favorite, but I would put 3 over 4 definitely with Mr. T over Dolph Lundgren.
It's a battle for me, but I don't know.
I think Mr. T is a really good villain.
I remember thinking that people when I was a kid, people said he was horrible in that movie, and then I watched it. And I was like, he was great.
He was great.
He was a psycho villain.
He was scary.
Was terrifying. Yeah, I was like, this guy's a
Clever
piece
Lang.
of
You're
shit.
talking about, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. T. Yes, he's really good in it.
He shoved Mick on the grave.
Yeah.
Just throw him in
Shut
the
up, old
wall or
man.
something.
Hey, if you want a real good time, come to me. Remember with his wife
he
and
was like
Adrian?
a fucking nut, man.
He's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
He
He
goes,
was trying to like.
what's your prediction for tonight's fight? Pain.
Yeah, he was great.
He was really good.
was
That's
really
why
good.
I think the third one is up there for me because of his character. I think
But
really
I did
is a
notice
good
it was jarring
villain.
though. In the first film and the second film, there are no villains.
Yep. The third and fourth are 80s movies. No, listen. Third and fourth movies, and they look glitzier.
Third
The
and
whole
fourth-
robot scene where he's in the mansion and everything
Yeah,
like that.
what was that
The
all
Even the
about?
music, Survivors, Eye of the Tiger,
Yeah.
was brought in for the third movie. The fourth movie has
Well,
a
that
whole
song was
montage
written
sequence.
for the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it was written
I
for
think
the
it
movie.
was.
I don't think it was.
Look at the.
Watch the music video. It doesn't even have clips.
No,
from the
look at
movie.
it. I looked it up actually. I looked it up on Wikipedia. They said that they wrote it for the film. Like
Oh,
they were
really?
commissioned to write that song for the movie,
Interesting.
and it became a huge hit.
It's a great
It's
song,
still-
honestly. It still holds
I
up.
listened
I
to
like
that
that
song,
song.
before I ever saw that movie, and I never connected. And then when I listen to the song, all I think about is Rocky
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
lyrics
It's
are
very
literally
tied in.
about
Yeah, it's very
him.
tied in.
They are.
in
They
that
are.
movie,
And they
yeah.
talk about the Eye of the Tiger in the movie.
He's wearing a jacket with a big ass
yeah,
tiger on
and,
the
and
back.
they say you need to have the Eye of the Tiger. They talk about that.
That bothered me too in the second film where he goes and buys like the giant ass car or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they buy the house, and then he's like broke.
Broke,
he
yeah.
spent all his goddamn money
'Cause
in
he's
like
a stupid
5
street
seconds.
rat.
That's what I'm
He's a
saying.
goddamn street rat.
He didn't even know how to drive a car.
That's the
And
whole
Adrian's like,
point.
"Can you drive?" He's like, "Oh yeah, baby, I can drive." And he like crashing into trash cans and shit. I was like, "This is just a
While he's
bad
buying her a
movie.
jacket, he's parked. That's the whole. It's not, man.
And
he
the
doesn't
proposal.
He
know
didn't even
this
have
world.
any furniture in his like little
He
apartment.
doesn't know this world.
When
That's
he's trying
so
to read the
awesome.
book, remember he's trying to read to her?
Oh
in
my
bed?
gosh, that's such an incredible scene.
Anyways.
I can't believe. Yeah, I can't
Anyways.
believe you're mocking
Incredible.
Rocky.
Anyways, 3 and 4, 1 and 2
I
are
missed
set.
it. I didn't understand.
1 and 2 are 70s movies. They're 76 and
Yeah.
79. 3 and 4 are 82 and
Yes.
85. They're very much 80s movies if you rewatch those. They feel like different, and he's smarter in the third and fourth ones. He doesn't
Yeah,
sound
we
as dumb.
should point that out because his
But-
intelligence changed dramatically. I was like, is this Rocky?
Right.
Who is this? I don't know who this guy is.
That's true because every time
This
he's
is
poor,
not Rocky.
every time he's poor, he
He didn't
sounds
even
stupid.
have like the he
Yeah.
didn't talk like that at all.
And why,
Three
dude?
and
That's
four.
the whole That's another understory.
He was just like
him and
Adrian.
Adrian.
How
By
are
the
you
time-
doing?
by the
He had
time-
like a total normal.
By the time he's back in the streets,
I
and
love
poor
how you
in
guys
the
gloss
fifth
over
one-
this like it was totally fine that he did
No,
that.
No,
no,
I know,
no.
I agree with you. By the
The
fifth one, when
story-
he's in the street again and he's poor,
No,
he
no,
sounds
it is
stupid.
a story. It is story related
It's not-
because
it's not, Diego, you're
Adrian.
wrong.
No, Adrian.
You're wrong.
Adrian took him that route. He was dumb, and because in every film there's
wrong.
scenes. No, I'm fucking. Fuck you.
You're
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Wow.
No, he's not wrong because every movie in the Rocky series, you see how Adrian teaches him something, makes him better. Like she
true.
enhances his knowledge.
She's there in
She
the
takes
fifth
him-
one and he
she's
goes dumb
there-
again.
But she teaches him. She always teaches him something, and he gets smarter because of her.
Yeah,
Not
but how
because
did-
what's going
then
on.
how
around.
did he get dumber?
gets smarter because
Yeah,
of
because
her.
but he gets
how
dumber
does-
again. That's what I'm
when he
saying.
came
Rocky
back,
when he
5.
goes poor.
Rocky 5. He fucking ignores her.
Oh, and he
fucking
gets that-
goes against her.
he has a
He
brain
He
started-
ignored her in
scan.
Rocky
He
4
goes-
when he went to Russia. She said, "Don't go. He's a killer. He's gonna kill you." She
He
says that in the
does-
fourth
she-
one. He does it anyways. And
He
he's
does
not
it,
dumb
and
in
what?
that one.
He's not. No, because he has Mick and he has his partners with.
No,
but when
Mick
he
is dead in the
ignore-
fourth one. Mick
when
died
he
in the third
ignore-
one.
What?
Yeah, Mick died in the third one.
It was the third one.
Yeah,
Not Mick. What's his name?
Apollo.
Not Apollo.
No, Apollo's dead in the fourth one.
Not
Fourth
not
one. He didn't
Apollo.
go to-
The other black guy.
which one are we talking about?
Apollo's trainer.
Apollo's trainer goes with him. They
Fourth
sit there
one.
and
Oh,
support
yeah,
him,
yeah.
but you don't hear him talking. You don't hear him talking a lot in
This
Rocky.
is me
Apollo,
Four.
Apollo's
This is
trainer
another
is in Rocky
discussion of Rocky.
Balboa.
You can't. You
Yeah,
can't
They
yeah.
say.
jarringly
Yep.
don't
You can't
introduce
say
his
he went
character at
dumber.
all. He's
But he's
just
there.
there
Yep.
training.
You
Which
can't
I
say.
kinda liked it, though.
You can't say Rocky went dumber in Rocky 4 because when he went to Russia, he didn't have a
He
lot
didn't
of
go
lines.
dumb in the fourth one. That's what I'm saying. He didn't go dumb in the fourth one. You were
No, it was in the
saying
fifth one.
You were
He-
saying
it
he
was
went
all-
dumb
there
when he
was-
ignored Adrian. I'm like, he ignored her in the fourth one. He didn't go dumb. Here's the thing. I think when he got older, he just got punch drunk. By the fifth one, he
No.
says if you get one more hit, you're gonna die. He said the doctor tells him that in the beginning of the fifth movie, and I think he was just
He
got.
fights still in the
I think he
sixth
went
and
dumb
Rocky
again when
Balboa.
I think Ivan Drago just punched him in the head so fucking hard he went stupid again.
So I want to change a word.
all that
Not knowing what to do and being dumber because he was.
No,
I
I'm
said
saying
number
he
5.
talks
Did you say
slow.
4?
Okay.
so
Okay.
confused.
First of all, you
And
guys
number
need to
5.
rewatch Rocky 5 because there are things
don't
about
need to
that
rewatch
movie.
shit.
He literally he's like arrives back to America from Russia in the
Yeah.
beginning of that movie,
Yeah.
and
He's
he's
lost all
like
his money,
a
and
completely
he can't
different
fight.
person.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Why do I need to rewatch it?
Because he doesn't know what to do.
No,
I
my
agree with
point
you.
is that his like
I
character
said he got hit so hard by Avid Drago, he gets stupid. It makes sense. He went cross-eyed.
doesn't make sense,
It makes
man.
that thing, he punched with 700 pounds worth of force, right? Isn't that what they said? in the
Rocky
fourth movie?
5.
Is that-
Rocky
he
5.
lets him
sounds
punch
like a
him.
conspiracy theory.
No, he goes, hit me again.
He
And
was
he's getting
trying
hit over and over.
But he was
It's so
trying to
fucking
like
good.
I think
So-
what Sylvester was doing is he's trying to like go back to the roots of the character by making him completely poor and bringing him back to creating this MacGuffin of
But he
like
agrees
Polly. God damn it, I hate Polly. Polly, who like ruins their lives every movie, like screws them up, and then they come back to literally the same apartment. She goes back to the same pet shop,
I
and he's
know.
walking the same streets with Polly, and Polly's going back to being a criminal again. Like it was like, what the fuck?
But that is so fucking
did say
true.
it was a money
Look,
grab.
dude, if you read about boxing, I watch boxing all the time. If you read about boxing, that is such a true
He had
story.
millions.
Too. That
He
is
wasn't
such
like-
a
he
true
didn't just
story.
have, like,
Do you know that
$10,000?
in
He had
sports,
millions of dollars.
Do you know that in sports that boxing's the only sport that boxers aren't protected? So that is something that happens all the time in boxing. That they lose
maybe I
after
missed
they
that.
become
If
famous.
that's true.
They lose all their money. It's a common thing because that's the only sport that that the player or the person is not protected is in boxing. They can lose everything just like that. And here's the thing, Rocky 5, like I was saying, Rocky 5, I'm not going to say he went dumber. I'm saying he didn't know what to do because he stopped listening to Adrian. And you see him flashing back to who he was because he didn't have her support. And I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
But
incredible
see,
in writing. That's
if-
incredible in acting. That's
I
incredible
wouldn't even
in the
bring this
fucking
up.
film.
All right.
He-
I
he
wouldn't even
does-
bring this up, but Arnold wouldn't have made that mistake.
Ah.
It's
Arnold
not a-
wouldn't have made
I
that
don't- it's
mistake.
not a
Arnold's
mistake.
having trouble. Arnold,
It's not a
Rocky
mistake.
wrote and directed these movies. Now he didn't direct 5, but
he wrote it.
He
He wrote
wrote
it.
5.
He wrote it.
So I'm like,
he does it. He has admitted it was a cash grab, by the way. He admitted that Rocky 5
I
was
don't
a
doubt
cash
that.
grab.
I don't
He
doubt that.
He
I
has
don't
admitted
care.
that.
That doesn't make a difference
But
about
you're
what was
saying
written
that
in
like
the film.
Arnold hasn't
Yeah.
made mistakes. Neil, you're saying like Arnold hasn't
Arnold
made
has
mistakes.
never made a mistake in
Arnold-
life other than what happened with that nanny.
Arnold hasn't made a great
But that
movie
kid
in
looks
20
just
years.
like Arnold.
Arnold hasn't made a great movie in 20 years.
He was
Yeah.
a governor. He got
It doesn't matter.
the people of California
But
destroyed his soul. I
He's
don't know what to
tried
tell
though.
you.
He's tried. He hasn't made a great movie in close to 20 years, and Sylvester Stallone has. So
Yeah, he did. He made Collateral Damage.
No.
Oh, never mind.
that movie's not great.
Oh, that was before he became governor, right?
That was right before.
was before.
2002.
Yeah.
It was a year before.
wasn't a bad
And he
movie.
made Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. They're fine, but they're not great.
You know what? I gotta tell you this. Collateral Damage got pushed off because of what happened with 9/11. So that could have been a part
True.
of
That is true.
what.
But I
lost
will
the
tell you one
momentum
thing,
for
though.
that
I will
film.
tell you one thing. I think Sylvester Stallone has a longer, more sustained career than Arnold.
It does.
And that is true. Yes, Arnold went away with politics for 8 years, but Arnold didn't get
film
big
that-
until the
film
80s.
he's ever been. The only film he's been recognized for are the Rocky series. And
No.
it was his first film.
What
and
are you
then
talking
it, like,
about?
I
this is
agree.
The most recent
I
Creed
agree.
film, which he got nominated, he won a Golden Globe for, and he got nominated for an Oscar for, which is
Arnold
incredible.
has no recognition from the
what was
Oscars.
Arnold?
After you make
What-
7
Arnold
films,
has zero recognition from the Oscars.
Look, what do you have?
Zero.
What is
they might
Arnold?
give him a lifetime achievement.
What is
after he's
Arnold
dead.
recognized for? What is
Well, they
Arnold
might-
recognized
Time
for?
will tell.
What is Arnold recognized
what I just
for?
said.
What do you
Yeah, that's
mean?
what I just said.
He's like Total Recall.
No, here's what I'm saying.
Predator,
But it's
Arnold-
not his.
Terminator.
Let me say
Not
one thing.
only is Rocky like recognized for his acting,
created it.
He created it too.
Yeah. he
Whoa! I mean,
So-
can you imagine anyone else in the role of like the Terminator?
did. Yeah, what's his face?
One,
Henriksen.
two, 1 and 2.
Henriksen.
One and 2.
The guy who was supposed to play him originally.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen, yeah. He was supposed to play the Terminator before they got Arnold.
That's true.
Okay, but here's the thing. Arnold didn't actually hit quote unquote big in Hollywood until 82 with Conan the Barbarian, okay? And then he kind of didn't do he only had great movies until like the late 90s or mid to late 90s were like his last like decent movies. Oh, no, I'm just saying. So that was his run,
Well,
right? About
within
15,
the last
16 years.
10
Hold
years
on.
as Sylvester Stallone.
Creed,
It's incredible.
Rocky Balboa, even if it's just the same character. Rocky,
Yep.
Creed, the
Rocky
Expendables
Balboa was
movies.
2006.
The
That
Expendables
wasn't
movies-
10 years, my friend.
Okay,
Oh, Creed.
Expendables 2010. That was the first Expendables movie specifically. He wrote and directed those movies and had that
You
wole
think that's
concept.
a great movie?
I think the
that's,
first
that's
one.
better than like Collateral Damage or
I think it's
one of
better than
these
Collateral Damage.
Arnold
Absolutely.
action film.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's better than any movie that
Dude,
Arnold
he
made
brought
since
every
the late 90s. 90s.
Fucking Arnold worked
Literally,
for him.
the only reason that those are good movies is because he was able to get so many action stars.
No,
in,
the
like,
first
one
movie
the
has
first one-
frame.
great action in
Great
it.
action,
Great fight
yeah.
scenes with Jet Li, and also that fight scene, that whole, even the beginning when they got the
alright.
guns, they got the guns on those guys, those Somali pirate guys, and then Dolph Lundgren goes, all right, let's get it started. Whatever he does, he pulls out that big fucking gun and blows that guy's fucking torso off. Do you remember that scene in the beginning?
I mean, they were fun
Did you see-
movies.
Or
but
Jason Statham in the basketball
Here
park.
we go. If it wasn't
You know-
Jason
wait,
Statham
wait.
and it wasn't Dolph
So-
Lundgren
or
and it
Jet
wasn't
Li,
Bruce Willis
or
or
this.
Jet Li or
But
Let
who-
me tell you a
who
great
got all
scene.
those guys together?
Let me tell you a great
Sylvester
scene.
did.
That's all I'm
Let me.
saying.
That's
but that's the only reason they're good.
no.
The only
he had
reason.
a scene.
He
had a
created
scene-
a good movie, got good characters
He had
together,
a
and
scene-
it's retarded. The only reason it's good is because he created a good movie. I
He
get what you're
just
saying.
took every action person, they put him in like this, and I gave this MacGuffin as to why they're all together.
The
and blah,
first
blah,
one
blah.
made
Man.
the
Harrison
first one was
Ford
good,
shows
though.
up and Bruce Willis shows up.
I
and-
think
I
they
agree with
get
you with
worse
some
as they
stuff,
go
but
on.
not you reaching, bro.
I think they get worse as they go on. I think they worse as they go on. But that first
all I'm
movie
saying is
good.
if Sylvester Stallone was governor for
All right.
10 years or however long Arnold
So
was governor,
let Nick.
he wouldn't be making good movies either. So,
let
come on.
Nick finish your statement,
Okay.
and then we'll
I'm
do
just
closing
saying,
statements.
Sylvester- making great
Sylvester
movies.
Stallone hit the scene, became big about 6 or 7 years before Arnold. Okay, so he started years before Arnold, like hitting it big, and then he's still making great movies. Like they're not as frequent, but he is
Great
made.
is a stretch.
Creed was a great movie, and yes,
He didn't make it.
but he was in it.
He just approved the script. What's his
No,
name?
no,
The
no,
director
no.
came to
He
him
almost
and was
won an
like,
Oscar for
I
it.
want to make this
It was
movie.
an
And then
Oscar-nominated performance.
It was an Oscar.
That's
yeah,
all I'm
exactly.
saying.
well,
I don't
he
think
had an incredible director
He
directing
didn't even
him.
approve the script. He didn't even approve the script. I'm going to take that away from. Like he didn't approve
It
the
is.
script.
There's
He's
something
just
wrong.
acting in it.
But
and
there's
he-
something wrong with like the 2 films that he was nominated for acting. He didn't direct. He didn't direct
What
himself.
are you getting?
That's
to?
fine. I
I'm
get
just
it.
trying to point it out.
Nah,
You know, another
you're-
guy comes
you're
in and says,
reaching. You're
Sylvester,
reaching.
this is how you
You're
should
reaching.
play
You're reaching.
the
You're
character
reaching.
you created. and
are
all of a
reaching.
sudden, he's getting nominated for Oscars.
Arnold hasn't written any of
All
his
right.
own scripts, and
I'm
Hey,
not reaching.
and
I'm
he's
not
never
reaching.
even
You know what you're doing?
nominated.
You know what you're doing? You know what
It's
you're doing?
fact.
You know what
It's
you're
fact.
doing?
He didn't direct Rocky 1, and he didn't direct Creed.
You know what
And
you're
the
doing?
2 films that he got nominated
You know what you're
for.
doing? You're fishing in the wrong river with the
All
wrong
right,
bait.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You guys,
I'm just saying.
But you guys, we
No.
spent a long time talking about
You
his
said-
ability to write and
you
direct,
said
which to
current
me
acting.
is like not all that great.
You saying current
not that
acting,
great.
and you compared Arnold to Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester
Well-
Stallone got nominated recently for his acting in Creed.
And he should
So-
have. I thought he was great.
So you can't say so because he didn't direct it doesn't mean anything because we're comparing.
do we even
acting
care about the
recently.
Oscars, though? I mean, come on.
All right. So
right,
let's
well,
I
close
want to know where you
Let's
stand.
close
'cause
this
we
out.
all know where Diego stands.
Okay. So we.
Well, I feel like I'm the
you want me
underdog
to declare a
here.
winner?
I feel like I'm defending
Rocky.
Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. Like, this is insane. This is like the Twilight Zone.
I'm really bad at this. I really suck at these verses because I feel like I want to call it a tie because though here's the 2 things that go. I'm just gonna take it. Sylvester Stallone absolutely has the writer-director element down. Okay, but
Yeah.
Arnold absolutely had a big hand in creating his career in those movies he did. He absolutely was a big producer. He had approved directors. He brought directors in to create those. So that I'm going to say is a wash on that point. They
I don't
both
understand how it's a
created.
wash.
Hold on, they both
okay.
created.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay.
no, because Arnold's movies, he has a larger number of.
No, I thought
greater
you were going to say
movies.
Arnold.
No.
but- Okay, yeah.
Arnold has a greater number of better movie of like great movies. He has a larger
Better
number
movies.
of great
You were
movies.
right the first
No,
time.
great movies. He has a larger number of great movies than Sylvester Stallone does. But Sylvester Stallone has a longer sustained career of making said great movies. Okay,
Doesn't Arnold have more
Can I just say a quick
films?
statement?
Hasn't
Can
he
I
produced
say a
or
quick
started
statement?
yes,
more
but Sylvester
films?
Stallone
Can I
has decade after decade
Real quick.
reintroduced himself to a new audience, has created iconic characters or delivered movies or performances that were on par with that generation's actors.
Real quick. I'm not chiming in on you, bro.
Yeah.
And you got Neil coming
Neil,
in.
I
You know,
know.
I don't have to fight my battle. I'm good to
All
go.
right.
He's a rat on a sinking ship. I get it.
Wow.
As a
Arnold's a sinking ship?
So, Rat Burger, Demolition Man. I was like hoping we would get spark that. I was gonna say Demolition Man happens to be one of my favorites, so that goes up against a lot of Arnold's funnier action films.
You know what's weird
Sylvester
about
Stallone
Demolition Man?
also-
I love that movie, but when they went to meet Dennis Leary in the underground sewer thing,
Edgar
somehow I
Fenley.
immediately thought of Super Mario Brothers. That film,
Oh, I can
Super
see
Mario
that. I
Brothers.
can
It's
see
like
that.
I was like, is this the same set or something?
I know.
Like
I can see that they were made within the same year too.
I gotta say,
wonder
And
if
that's
they
the
were
Rat
the
Burger
same
scene.
set.
That's the Rat Burger scene.
I gotta say this
Goes
though.
Rat.
I think Demolition Man wasn't. That movie was good. I think it was more because of Wesley Snipes than Sylvester Stallone.
I think it was both.
I think their chemistry worked.
I like
but
Sandra Bullock.
He
I
was
thought
John.
she
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. John
in
Spartan.
the Three Shells. I sure do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the CC shells. No, but he was John Spartan. I love the name. I loved his character, but I also loved Wesley Snipes as the nemesis in that movie. It was great.
Good
But
day, John
what I'm
Spartan.
saying is, so you got these comparisons. So who's better?
Arnold.
I want it. No, I'm gonna declare.
Oh, here we go. This is your take.
Ready?
Here we go. Arnold. Here it comes.
It's a tie. I can't do it. Arnold, no, they have two things that cancel the other things out. Both have created these movies. They absolutely has. Arnold is a producer, and Sylvester Stallone is a writer-director. They both have great movies. One has a larger number of great movies in a shorter amount of time, but the other one has a more sustained, longer career that spans different decades more than Arnold has. And I just think because of that, the two strong points they have cancel each other out. They're a tie. We're just gonna go with that.
You know what I'm gonna say?
What?
I'm just gonna say a movie that I actually loved about Sylvester Stallone that we didn't talk
We could have
about.
ended it on the tie, but
Yeah,
now
we
you're
could,
gonna...
no. I just want to say the line on it because I
Okay.
love it. It's Judge Dredd.
Okay,
love
not a great
I
movie.
ain't breaking any law. I am the law. I am the law.
That's a
I
memorable
love that
line.
film. I don't know why.
I
love
actually
that
enjoyed
film.
that movie. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I don't know.
really
People
do.
shit on that movie, but
I like the remake.
I'll let that
Dredd.
stand, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
let
the
that
remake
stand.
was good.
Really
yeah.
I let that stand. I let that stand.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
the remake was a copy of the movie The Raid.
All right.
I didn't think it was
It
bad,
was
but
a little bit,
It was
yeah.
a little bit. I see what you're talking
Yeah.
about, but
But I like that whole the drug thing or whatever. Where
slow mo.
people- Yeah,
slow mo.
slow-mo
I think that was
stuff,
really
yeah.
cool. Yeah, and the villain, Lena Headey, was the
Yeah.
villain. Whatever. I thought it was great.
I'll let that
Okay.
stand. I'll
Anyway,
let that
so that's
stand.
what I'm gonna. I was down the middle, and I'm still technically down the middle because I'm gonna call it a tie. I really think when we compare those two, the way we
mean-
said it and the points I brought up, I think would lead to a tie.
That's fair.
No, that's very fair. Yeah, I agree. You know, one person got nominated twice, the other one didn't get nominated a damn bit.
Man,
That's
you can't
cool.
let
No,
it
I
go.
agree. No,
They're
I
so
agree.
different,
No, I'm just
but
kidding. No, I'm
like
just kidding.
you want to compare them, but they're so different.
Yeah.
They are.
So that's where we stand in this versus.
Absolutely
we
no
didn't get
closure
a
whatsoever.
Goddamn place. Yeah.
No, I
so-
think we brought up good points as to why it would be a tie.
I think
They both have their strong points.
Yeah, and
though.
I
Exactly.
actually just I like the fact that like Sylvester started on one end of the spectrum in this dramatic role. Even
Yeah.
though he's a boxer, I mean it's a kind
Yeah,
of
but
action,
still, it was
the majority
dramatic.
of that film is
It's
it's
drama.
drama. Yeah,
It's a drama.
and then as a writer director, or he wasn't a director then, but he became a director. And then Arnold
By the
started
second
out
movie.
doing these like just as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I mean, the great
he was
thing-
like a people were
muscle
like,
guy.
Oh, look at him. That's
He's
all he
big.
was. Look
Yep,
at him.
yep.
Yeah.
True.
I'll end it in this. I am excited to have the opportunity to see them both.
Yeah.
Because I think they both are incredible artists and they've done great films that we got a chance to grow up with.
Yep.
And that's just incredible opportunity.
And-
Wasn't there a rival between them?
There was. I was
early
about to
on?
say,
There
they
wasn't-
actually
there was
did
huge-
have a rivalry.
They had a hatred. They had a huge hatred.
But
Yeah.
then they
for a while.
became friends.
They're
Like,
now
something
friends, yeah.
happened.
They're
like
Expendables.
buddies.
They're older guys now, you know. But it's funny. There's actually two scenes in two different movies where Arnold is
Last
in
Action
Twins.
Hero.
First is Twins, where he's walking by and he sees this big picture of Rambo, and he stops. He puts down his briefcase. He looks up at it. He feels his own bicep, and then he goes, and he kind of like scoffs at it and walks away with a big grin, like, I'm bigger than that guy.
Yeah.
And then in Last Action Hero, when he sees they're in the alternate reality, and he
Yeah.
sees Sylvester Stallone on the bike for Terminator 2,
That
Terminator
was
Day,
funny.
and he goes, he's
Hilarious.
one of the greatest action stars, Sylvester Stallone, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's you.
That's you. You're supposed to be. Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining us at Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. I'm Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
Rocky Balboa, I don't
Yeah,
agree
get
with
to
this.
the job.
I
That's what I
don't
was
agree
gonna
with
say,
all
get to the
this. This is bullshit. Rocky never.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.